I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast, batman-on-film.com. I guess I would say this is like one of these old school emergency podcasts, emergency social hours, because we're going to react to some of the Batman news that, and I'm talking about Batman in general, but specifically the Penguin, Batman Cape Crusader, and a little bit of the absolute Batman stuff that came out of San Diego Comic-Con 2024, which is still taking place today, but Sunday. Now, you two, if y'all want to go, I got Javi and Pete here.
Oh yeah. Big weekend. Big weekend.
I know that both of y'all have told me, I believe, that going to San Diego Comic-Con is a bucket list thing. Am I right about that?
Yeah, 100%. I gotta do it at least once.
I would go. If I were y'all, I would go for the. I'd go and I'd hit it on Thursday morning and Sunday. If you want to see the comic, if you want to go and just walk the convention floor and check out the comic book stuff and the artist and all that, all that kind of typical stuff.
Yeah,
every con I've been to, Sunday is like the chill day where you can have a little more time to talk with the people you're there to see.
I still want to see the chaos though. I want to see the absolute shit show that is San Diego Comic-Con. I just I'm very curious now because I've heard you talk about it around Superman Returns and how that was kind of the changing point. That was the last.
I was at a bar. I was at a bar in the Gas Lamp District, probably a half a mile from the convention center, and was going to see a Superman Returns panel at 3:00, and left and walked there and walked straight. I didn't even have a pass from Warner Brothers for that one, and walked straight into Hall H, sat down and watched Richard Donner, Brandon Routh, and what's his name? Skippy Greasy Pants. What's his name? The director.
Who? Brian Singer?
Greasy Pants. Brian Singer.
Okay.
Yeah. Brian Singer. Talk about Batman Returns. Superman Returns. God, no, they didn't talk about Batman Returns. I wouldn't have gone to that.
That'd be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it would be. I wouldn't have been there to listen to it. Okay.
But you can't do that anymore, apparently. I think the worst it's ever been, honestly, was that year BVS was announced. People were sleeping outside Hall H. And
that was going on for several years. They were you had people camping out.
Yeah, they started doing that.
Hell no. No.
Before there was any real bad blood towards Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So everyone was really united.
It wasn't just for Warner Brothers. It was.
Oh no.
They got in there and they got a seat and didn't leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had passes to get in, VIP passes from Warner Brothers. So I was there for that BVS when they first showed that first clip, and I think a couple other things were going on. But hell, I hadn't been in 10 years.
I know I'll never get into Hall H. I know that's not a realistic expectation, and it's not something I really want to go there for. I just like conventions. I'm all about vendors and seeing, see if what action figure I could pick up, or I don't know what rare book is there. Maybe I can buy a wall book or something. It's more about comics and toys and the convention than it is Hall.
Yeah, that's why I say go Thursday and Sunday. Because literally I was so I'm trying to chill out, but. Last time I get so aggravated because you couldn't even walk not on the main floor. Where's the fire code? It's sardine, and people are, Now it's
Yeah, but I imagine when you're there
and not aware of, they're just act like a bunch of assholes. It's just it's.
No, I'm at the
you're
Danny
probably right
Glover
about
point
that.
of my fandom where it's like I'm too old for that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm not waiting out in line for anything.
Yeah, but look, guys,
So-
admit it. Like when you're seated and you see something that really hypes you up and you're the first person to see it, with that crowd, you're going to get that adrenaline rush and that reaction and you'll cheer. I'm sure there's nothing better as a fan when you just see that announcement live and in person. But I'm with you. I'm not sleeping out there.
I like on Saturday sitting in my office and waiting for stuff to drop almost immediately on the internet. And
we have it.
Now
we have it like so easy. I mean, back in the day, I remember I was following El Mayimbe's Twitter account and waiting for him to basically tell me what was going on. Umberto's been doing this basically for years. So that's kind of how I was getting Comic-Con, let's say 2015 in the Twitter age. And then before that, you're waiting for either your website to post something, superhero hype. You're waiting for those websites to post what happened in San Diego. So now we have it really great because now they're like, the trailers here. We're going to get in front of the leak at least.
Yeah.
So
they would show exclusive. I don't think they even show anything exclusive anymore. Maybe you're there for the panel, but like the Penguin thing, it was just, the footage they showed was this third trailer, and then it was boom. It was online as soon as it finished showing at Comic-Con.
That's how they get ahead of the leakers like Kowalski.
We're going to get on the move here, but I will say, I've often wondered, I know back in the day they said, pirating and all blah, blah, blah. I don't know why they don't do like a virtual con where people can buy a ticket.
Like Fandom?
And see like panels and whatever for
I wouldn't pay more than like $15 to virtually just see what's happening in Hall H, to be honest with you. I'm not paying like a pay-per-view price. Like this isn't like a fight or anything. But for the right price, I'd be interested in, paying for a feed of Hall H.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you guys. I kind of miss the old days when someone would post a cell phone video from a flip phone, so it wasn't the best quality. It was kind of grainy. Yeah. You couldn't see it.
There was some Fantastic Four stuff that a friend sent me of like the Hall H. Year? The little
Did he put like his thumb over his lens just to give it a smudge so it's old school?
Okay. Before we get into Batman, I want to ask you, both of y'all saw Deadpool, Wolverine, Deadpool, whatever in the hell, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Luxus, baby.
I have no interest in it.
You have no interest in anything.
A few things. The stuff I do, I have a lot of interest in.
That's it.
Wolverine and Deadpool, I do not. I am not a Marvel person.
There is 25 years of homework to go see that movie. I'll tell you that, which is not your thing.
I was talking to a buddy of mine who is like from back home, no comic book guy whatsoever. I don't know if he's ever read a comic book, has no clue what's going on in the MCU or anything. And pretty much, he'll go see Batman movies, but anyway, one of his buddies and him his buddy wanted to go see the movie, so they went Friday, and he said, "Well, he goes." I said, "Well, how was it?" He said, "Well, it was funny as hell, it was funny." He said, "But I had no idea what was going on the entire time. I didn't." He goes, "There was this coon-ass guy that threw cards." And I went, "Gambit?" And he goes, "Yeah." So he was.
I love that's coon-ass is like my new favorite term.
Yeah,
because of Bill Reeves.
Don't anybody get offended because you grew up where I did. That's a badge of honor to moniker, and I'm 1/4. So okay. And if you're in Southwest Louisiana, you know what I'm talking about. All right. So y'all hold your horses there. Okay, check yourself. Cajun. Okay.
Yeah.
And he said, and there was like that chick that Ben Affleck was used to be married to, and I went, Electra was in it, and he's I don't know.
Spoilers.
All right, sorry.
Sorry,
Spoiler alert. I don't care. I mean, who's gonna
Well,
let?
It was also leaked a long time ago.
That was leaked like a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, people, let's be honest. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a Batman fan first and foremost. You're probably a DC fan secondly. And then you're like overall Marvel, whatever DC is third or down the line. And you probably have already seen the movie. All right.
Well, that sounds like me and Javi to a T.
So anyway, quickly, because I want to get to Batman. And this is what I heard. Just from this is my take from I've read several reviews and people's reactions, and it seems like it was a big old Easter egg cameo fan service production galore. Am I off base, or is that?
I'm gonna let Javi go first.
I'm going to say that's accurate. It feels like they looked at what Flash did and what the reception was for the Flash and tried to steer clear of certain things.
That's a good call. I'm with you on that.
And, give impact to certain other elements and let those elements shine. But I mean, when my kids were little, like I showed them all the X-Men movies, but we watched them all over the last 2-3 months, and they really didn't remember like 90% of them. So just watching all the Wolverine appearances to get to this movie was time consuming. But it goes beyond just that, where the movie takes the story. Like, you've had to have been paying attention for over 25 years to catch every little detail and nuance and get a full appreciation.
So what are they going?
Which isn't the general audience. There's going to be a lot of stuff that
are they going from universe to universe or some kind of stuff like that, or
in a sense.
In one point there is a sequence, but I really liked it, but it's hard to place it because it's an MCU movie that's a lot of it is outside the MCU. It's kind of hard to tell where and how these other elements are going to be brought in, if at all. So like where they go with like the X-Men characters or the Fox characters.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you any of those answers. And I can see how some people would be really unfulfilled if you're looking for that kind of story, but it's kind of like a wrap up of like the Fox era.
It's a love letter. It tries to be a love letter.
It's definitely like a love letter to that, especially, the time of duty that Hugh Jackman's put in as Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it was very Deadpool. It is a Deadpool movie. I thought certain things dragged on for too long. I thought there were too many needle drops. A lot of the stuff that has to do with Hugh Jackman and his Wolverine happened, like Javi said, 20 years ago, and it's making me remember things that happened in the past. And there's really that emotion. It doesn't come from this version of Logan. It's some other version of Logan. It didn't resonate with me as much as I thought. It felt like a music video. It's like, we're going to put a really popular song on top of Wolverine and Deadpool literally just kicking the shit out of either themselves or something else. The cameos were the best part. The Affleck joke was very good. The disrespect toward the Fantastic Four bothers me. This is the second time I think Feige's been very disrespectful toward the Fantastic Four in a multiverse film, and that bothers me. And I think it even extends past that now with the information that dropped yesterday. It's very strange to me. I think it's at times felt like an episode of Loki more than an MCU movie. And like, I get why people like it, and I do think it's funny. There were a lot of jokes. They did land. Some things were cool, but it was a lot of like fan service, and it's just, I think the two other Deadpool movies are a lot better.
I mean, Deadpool has always been about fan service from before like that first movie came out.
Yeah, the breaking the fourth wall, all that jazz.
That teaser, that previs video that they leaked out to get the movie made, like that was
this is like the Will Ferrell version of Deadpool. It's just so over the top and Deadpool-y. There's even additions, like I 12 volumes of Deadpool classics to my right. There are certain comics of Deadpool that are exactly like this movie, and I like those comics less than the stuff that inspired the first two films. That's just I'm being very consistent with my take. And that's just me. And look, I'm not an X-Men guy, so the most I know about the X-Men comes from Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and this run of X-Men. And like I said, it was cool, but at the time, I'm like, all right, yeah, I remember watching these movies. You're trying to get emotion from watching these old clips and the highlights of old X-Men movies for exposition about this Wolverine. I'm like, it's just not working. But then they're like, here's a hot song with them killing everybody. And it's like, it didn't really work for me. So,
okay,
that's it. I'm happy people are enjoying it, but I'm over the multiverse. I'm done
to
with
wrap up this Wolverine, Deadpool, Wolverine, whatever, 220, 221, whatever it takes. I have just a question. Couple is there a Green Lantern in it?
No.
Is Hawk Girl in it?
No, they're the wrong the wrong brand.
Is Metamorpho in it?
No.
I don't even think there's not even a stretchy guy, but a stretchy guy does get mentioned.
He does get mentioned, but there is no stretchy guy.
Okay. All right. Well, at least he's taking care of that.
And there are Batman references.
Okay.
Right?
I was hoping,
think so.
I don't remember.
Okay. I was, just wondering, maybe Mr. Terrific or whatever.
Well, yeah, you're naming all the wrong characters, but they're there. In a sense, they're all there, to be honest with you. They're just different characters, but they're all there. Okay. It's if you just dumped out the toy chest and wanted to play with some action figures, that's exactly what the third act.
No, I mean, that is a good analogy. It is a toy box movie.
Okay.
And it's like, how many different Wolverine figures can I get out of, storage and throw them all together?
Or Deadpool.
Yeah. Or Deadpool.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're not leaving MCU Marvel just yet, but I want to quickly on this. Get y'all's takes. I have a hot take. Well, I don't know if it's so hot.
I don't know if you have a hot take.
I think a lot of people agree with me. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU as, wait for it, not a different incarnation or different version from a different universe of Tony Stark / Iron Man, but as the classic Fantastic Four villain, Dr. Doom. WTF. I mean, I expected, I really did. I thought, okay, they're doing this multiverse, different versions of characters with the Marvel. They could bring him back as just a different Tony Stark, whatever. But I don't know. I'm not emotionally invested in the MCU or the Infinity Saga or whatever to care. I just think it's gimmicky, very gimmicky. And it's kind of like, okay, we got nothing going on. We're kind of, we're stalled out. No, regardless, I know that this new movie.
No, stalled out's the right term. They were stalled out until now.
This new movie excluded, but doesn't it come across as like, okay, we're going to turn to Robert Downey Jr. He was very popular Iron Man, and we'll make him Dr. Doom.
Look, I literally said this 4 days ago. I said that they were on DEFCON 1 when they brought back the dynamic doofus duo of the Russo brothers. He's just I think Feige is completely out of ideas, and I think he's trying to salvage this thing. I told you guys off air, if right now if Feige was the general manager of a sports team, he probably would have been fired a year ago. That's it. Now he's bringing back the old all-star team to try to get a championship back together. Does he think he's it's almost like they think they're the Lakers that lost to the Pistons. They think this is going to work. I don't know. It might work. Everyone seems excited on Twitter. I personally don't care. I think this is again another. I saw a lot more people. I also don't follow a lot of crappy accounts. I limit to who I follow to what I consider decent people. So some people, from what I saw, people were very happy. But Javi has told me certain people who didn't answer the phone, Paul Herman, are very happy about this. But I think he's completely out of ideas. I don't think he has any idea what he's doing at this point. He's really trying to throw it at the wall here. I know that what's his name, Majors, really put a wrench in the gears and screwed things up for them. And but I think things were screwed up before then, but I think now they're so reactionary. This is almost like a Warner Brothers move, like so reactionary that way. Instead of just
it's a little bit,
that's a good call,
bit
man.
there. It's a little bit there.
I mean, with who they brought back for Deadpool, Wolverine, basically since No Way Home, it's been the same gimmick over and over again. Multiverse of Madness, even. I think he is really just at the end here. And with everything that's going on Disney, like didn't some head honcho suit tie sell all his stock? And like Iger's got more control. I think things are shaking the ground.
Ike Perlmutter did, which was a good thing because that guy was
in flux.
That guy was messing everything up. The reason that we had that fallow period in the comics and for toys for X-Men and Fantastic Four was because of Perlmutter's. He was pissed off with Feige and not being able to own all of it. And
as Warner Brothers DC fans, we know what happens when companies have executive shifts and all that jazz. Everything gets a lot more murky. You have a lot more cooks in the kitchen, and half of them want to cook McDonald's. So you got to be really concerned here, in my opinion. That's all it is, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a huge amount of interest in this, whatever that Majors dude was playing. Whatever character was he?
It was hyped up by the cinephile thespians of superhero Twitter. He was one. He like kind of captivated that group. But Majors, like I don't know, he was kind of on the rise, right? He did that Apollo Creed kid movie.
Well, that's the only way I know
Creed
him.
3.
He was in Creed 3, and then if you're a fanboy and you're obsessed and you're following Loki, everyone was really Majors' role in Loki was really great. Like literally, he did that role, then he got fired. So it's like it was the biggest tease in the world, you know. So then people got hooked on that.
It was
but then
Ant-Man 3, and then Loki.
And there's that too. Yes.
Yeah. So you had that big tease.
They were force feeding him a lot.
Everything since Endgame has been. It didn't have the cohesiveness. Like they were expanding out the brand, which was good, and trying new things because that was a good time to do it. But when people wanted that through line, like nothing was connected. There was no momentum. Really building towards King, not like we had with Thanos, where he's like, do this for me. Okay, you didn't do it. I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. Okay, I'm coming. But
I also think it's really stupid to bring back Iron Man and stuff.
You didn't have any of that with the King stuff, and now when they decided to part ways with them, it was a hot mess. And I don't remember who reported it, if it was Boris Kit or someone else, that there are rumors about Downey and Evans coming back to do talks with Marvel.
They definitely had those conversations.
They definitely had those conversations.
So what stupid character is Evans going to play?
We thought. Well, I'm not going to say who Evans played because in case you haven't gone to the theater.
I don't think that's who. Maybe that was it. Maybe I was thinking maybe they had an idea like, okay, we bring him back in a larger role. But
I want to know this. Tell me off mic after we're done here.
That's fine,
Chris. Okay.
But I mean, the Russos haven't had any kind of success outside of Marvel, at least critically.
You mean Dupree.
and Downey is Downey. And so the question is, what are they doing here? Because they just said Dr. Doom. They didn't, as far as I know, they didn't say Tony Stark variant.
Right.
They didn't specify that he's Victor Von Doom. So what are
that
we
means
doing
he's going to
here?
be Fantastic Four, by the way.
And from what I've seen, Twitter is like as many people that are excited, like and shocked, like Nico. You've got the Paul Hermans of the world who are like, this is not a good thing. It's
stupid.
This is desperation, and this is their chance to do classic Doctor Doom right, bring him into the MCU, and instead they're going for this Hail Mary that may or may not connect. And that's like Bill and I have talked about before, like with Superman, with the James Gunn Superman, like they have to get this right.
Agreed.
Because you haven't had a successful, both financially and critically, Superman movie since 1982 or whatever, whenever year Superman 2 came out, because it just went declining with 3 and 4.
81, I think.
Returns didn't light, the world on fire so much so that they had to reboot again with Man of Steel.
Then you get the Pitchfork crowd.
We all know what happened with that. And like outside of TV, where Superman seems to flourish with 10 seasons of Smallville and 4 of Superman and Lois,
and then Lois and Clark
popular cartoon right now, he works on that. But for a big screen thing, like if Gunn doesn't get Superman right, why would you ever invest again in a Superman movie?
I think he gets
like you wouldn't. And it's the same thing for the Fantastic Four. You've had 3 mediocre movies at best, and this is supposed to be their flagship family. Yeah. This is the family that launched the Marvel universe. Captain America came before in Timely Comics. That's totally different than when Marvel became Marvel with Stan Lee and Jack Kirby on Fantastic Four. Yes. Like this is their first thing. And if you can't nail this, then there's no point to like keep trying over and over.
I actually this weird. I'm not very positive.
With this weird doom thing.
I think that I got so many things thinking. I mean, I can go off on a tangent about this is what you get with the shared universe when it all comes to an end. The MCU was lightning in a bottle. It was a happening. Yeah. It was organic.
I think organically it's proved that.
It's not contrived. And now even Disney is they're in the same boat as Warner Brothers, trying to recreate the original MCU, success.
They're the victims of their own success.
Yes, absolutely.
They honestly should Endgame
absolutely
reboot. That's how it should have gone. They really
and it's look, it's a lot easier to reboot individual characters than it is a whole freaking universe, because it's just, again, this all combined one thing over multiple films and TV and whatever it was just, again, it was a happening. And I was
telling somebody yesterday,
happened again.
I've been dealing with multiverse hopping superhero content since Flash season 2. I am done. I'm over it. I don't want to see, if I want to watch anybody go in any timeline or anything, I'm going to pop in Back to the Future. I'm so tired. And this includes the Flash, and I love Keaton, but I'm just fed up with the multiverse. I'm tired of seeing variants. It just seems like these characters are out of place sometimes. Like I see all these cameos and I'm like, in like 10 years, are these going to even matter? Like, are people going to pop in these movies? Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the big, like for me, yeah, I get it. It was my childhood, but like, is that the Flash? Is this you just grasping at straws trying to get my money because now I'm a millennial who has a job and cash?
What about Spider-Verse for you, Peter?
I don't like Spider-Verse.
No, like the movies. You didn't like the movies?
They're okay to me. I'm a Peter Parker Spider fan. It's okay. And then I think there's a lot in some instances. I think there's disrespect to characters I love in these variant movies. Like the Scarlet Spider in the last Spider-Verse, I thought was appalling. That bothers me as a fan of Ben Reilly and as a fan of Scarlet Spider, and at some point I'm tired of watching a million Spider-Men trying to catch the other Spider-Man. I want to watch Spider-Man fight the Rhino, Electro, the Kingpin. I want to see him do little things like that. Stop a jewelry store robber. The same goes to Batman. Like, I just want to watch Batman do Batman things. I want to watch Superman do Superman things. I want to watch Superman fight Metallo. That's it. And everyone's like, you like Solo. Like, they can be interconnected for all I care, whatever. But like, again, I read issues on the character. I focus on the individual characters. That's the stuff I want. I don't read Justice League. Sorry.
I did like the Spider-Verse films. I am not a fan of MCU Spider-Man. But speaking of which, Spider-Man has solo films have proven the character can be rebooted and people are interested. Solo Batman has been rebooted. People are interested. We're right in the midst of, we're going to get to Batman, folks, here very shortly.
I'm always curious, is that honestly, like, what would the reboot of Iron Man do?
That's a good question. That would open.
I mean, would you even?
It opens up a new tangent.
We saw what that
Hold on. hold on. I gotta bring this back in here. Okay, that's a good topic. That's a good topic. We're gonna leave that for let's do that on a satellite show or something. But you just got me off my train of thought, Pete. Thank you very much. Here I am hosting my ass off, and Pete threw it. Speaking of monkey wrenches, threw it in there. Oh, Superman. I think Gunn, to speak to what Javi said, I think Gunn is going to really get to the essence of Superman and what people like about Superman. But two things. I think adding these characters, these non-Superman characters, all in the name of a shared universe. And let's be honest, that's what it is. If you're just making a Superman film, you didn't have to have freaking Guy Gardner, Green Lantern in here and the rest of them. I don't care how much it's part of the story. It works for the story. And all these excuses people give. It's like, okay, Batman Begins. Let's have Batman Begins and then have freaking Sinestro show up in it. Just because, it worked in the story, whatever. So, and I don't think that Superman is appealing overall to the general audience. I don't. I mean, the shows have been successful, but those are niche shows with a very specific audience. So, yeah. And then you got everything. They're not even allowing Superman the movie to it's got to be a huge hit or everything is effed.
Yeah.
Where it can't be a modest success like Batman Begins and then grow on people through home video, and then and then you make a sequel because people liked it. It was reviewed well, and it's like
Man of Steel financially was a modest success.
Yeah,
but it wasn't embraced by the general public. That take.
Same thing for
embraced.
I mean, you can say the same thing about Superman Returns. Modest hit. I think they would have been better off in both cases with those. Let's just make the damn sequel and we'll go from there instead of panic. And anyway, all right.
But you had Begins, which was a modest success.
Yes.
But the general audience embraced it and discovered it in other media or like home video. And the last two Superman solo movies didn't get that. So this needs to go beyond that right off the bat, because there isn't time for it to people to discover it on streaming in 3 months.
There will never be another film like Batman Begins in terms of just catching the audience on home video. I think that'll be the last of its kind. I don't think because I don't think they'll look at that and streaming sales in terms of okay, this is it, we'll make the money back. I think if this Superman movie has a Batman Begins around it, I think it's just dead.
What lot more patience at Warner Brothers at that time, especially, they really wanted to be in the Chris Nolan business. And yes, and I would certainly say the home video.
Well, and the problem too is physical media sales are declining.
Mm-hmm.
They're not dying, but they're declining because we stream so much now.
But
so it's like, how do you quantify?
I don't have to buy a DC movie, man. They're always on Max.
Yeah.
I haven't bought one forever. It's kind of crazy.
I haven't bought Black Adam. I haven't bought Blue Beetle.
But if I want to watch them, I have it on Max.
Imagine if they had just pulled, they had just panicked and said, okay, we'll do something else with Batman. We'll reboot it again, after Batman Begins. We wouldn't have the Dark Knight trilogy, which is, think about that. All right, Batman.
I don't want to.
Batman on film.
I was just going to say, I don't want to.
God damn it. All right.
Think about a world without Nolan. No. It's like Justin Kowalski's dream. World without Nolan. I don't want to dream of that world.
Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor. What do you want to do first? Batman Cape Crusader or the Penguin / the Batman Part 2?
I'll leave it to Pete.
Cape Crusader.
All right. Batman Cape Crusader. Several people have watched, if not the pilot, they've watched all 10. I guess some members of the press were able to binge it.
They got all 10?
Yeah. Some people have seen all 10. And the reviews have been really good. Mm-hmm. Really good.
Great.
I guess what, and it comes out Wednesday.
Thursday,
right.
right?
Thursday. Okay.
This week.
So
Yeah,
we got to
Thursday.
get. Speaking of that, podcast. We're going to podcast for those, or how are we going to do it, Pete? Come on, we got to. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, we're going to have podcasts.
I've been talking to Patrick about it, so
okay.
we'll figure it out.
We're going to have podcasts about Batman Cape Crusader. I'm going to do a written review. I think I'm going to binge the whole season and then write a review.
Mm-hmm.
But what the big news was that the Penguin is a chick named Oswalda Cobblepot.
Now we know who Minnie Driver is.
And voiced by Minnie Driver. Yes.
Ooh.
And
she doesn't look good, but she's going to sound sexy.
Yeah. My reaction honestly was like, okay. You know,
I laughed.
I poked fun at it. I said, let the meltdown begin when I posted the Batman on Film story on social media. And there has been some melting down. It doesn't bother me. Okay. I think the name is a little silly. I wouldn't have got, they could have gone maybe with something else, Cobblepot, with an O that's more a traditional O name, a female name that starts with O. But I mean, I don't care. It's fine. Okay. It's all right.
I wonder, does she have a twin brother?
Maybe so.
I don't know.
Who knows?
My Twitter kind of blew up with this. And
she's the Penguin,
All I did was laugh.
I was like, all right. All right, Pete. I've already on record. I don't care. That's fine.
It doesn't really bother me.
No.
I am interested as to why they chose the Penguin to gender swap. I'm just curious. Like there's a reason clearly why they did this. I'm just curious as to what the reason is. I don't have a problem with it. I'm very interested to see what they do now with this little twist. Is Batman going to punch the Penguin? Like, she's a large woman. She looks like she actually outweighs Batman. So at that point, I think, terms of weight class,
I think it is advantage. It's to do something different that hasn't been done before. And
I don't understand doing something different just to do it differently, though. Like, that's weird. There's got to be some sort of
because we're not creatives.
Oh, okay, that explains it. Yeah, I'm not. I guess I'm not creative enough. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, I'm glad that these guys
a creative.
Okay. Well, I think creatively, it's a stupid idea. But it's also not a big deal. But like again, just like why'd you do it?
I haven't watched the panel at all, but just given how Two-Face's facial damage is swapped,
that has bothered so many people.
and Harley Quinn they're flipping her personality too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a way to distinguish them from the countless animated series that came before, because Batman looks so much like the Tim version that we got from the BTAS universe.
Yeah.
Like they got to give something to make it stand apart is unique. What I feel like.
Okay.
Because otherwise it looks so,
the Harley Quinn stuff doesn't bother me. This doesn't bother me either, but like, I question this way more than the Quinn stuff. Like, why'd you do this stuff? Like, it just makes no sense. Like, I would
just think it's to stand out.
Yeah, probably. Well,
I mean,
right.
look, Alfred is more of a nod to the Alfred Beagle version of the character. As far as aesthetic.
And I'm fine with that because again, Alfred's actually been an Alfred. Right. So in my mind, that's totally acceptable. Like at one point,
I mean, look,
before he went to fat camp, that's what he looked like.
We've read comic books where, you had Flashpoint Joker was Martha Wayne. Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. You've had, in Earth 1, Two-Face was a female, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was
the sister. Yeah,
Were they twins? Or were they just siblings?
I can't remember.
But
I don't remember either.
But Two-Face was the character.
That's right.
Was woman. It doesn't bother me.
I mean, about that. Yeah,
that one didn't bother me at all because I was like, well, they did Harvey. Like Harvey's there. Like there was that kind of cool twist. No, again, this doesn't bother me, but I'm just curious as to what the reasoning is. To be honest, that's all.
I really just think it's 85 years. How are we going to make this different from the hundreds.
That
of
almost
things
bothers me
came
because
before.
it's like, well, yeah, the character's been this way for 85 years. This is the character. That's the weird part because
Well, look at
again,
it.
standing the
Well,
test of time, like this
I'll
is who the
push
character
back
is.
a little bit on that and say Batman has, over this 85 years, has had numerous incarnations. He's a moldable character. I just think this is part of it. I think this is just part of it, you know?
I think
it has not turned me off from watching it. Like I'm still really hyped.
Yeah, I mean, they're
show.
changing. They've, from what I've read, it's a different take on even Bruce Wayne Batman than we've seen before. Which is, long as
I have to wonder, given who's involved, also, I have to wonder if this is to distinguish it from the Batman saga, where they're making, arguably a definitive Penguin interpretation right now. And so it's like, let's have a Penguin that's different in the cartoon.
Which is the opposite of what they did in BTAS, right? They molded that Penguin after the cinematic
That's
Penguin.
A good point.
Yeah.
That's a great
cool.
point.
I wonder if that was like, maybe Reeves had something to do with that. And he's like, I'm doing this Penguin over here. Let's try something over here. Because...
I got into a little bit of a Twitter argument with a friend of mine. I was like, dude, Reeves is in charge of Batman. I'm just saying, like, he's calling the shots there. He's like, no. I was like, no, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Gunn
kind of looks like he
Gunn
is.
reports to Reeves on Batman. I wouldn't say Gunn reports to Reeves, but Reeves is like, I'm doing that. You can wait.
Yeah.
Hands off until I'm done. So
speaking of the Penguin, all right. So anyway, let me finish up here. Crusader comes this week. Watch for BOF's coverage. There will be some. I just got to get the other boys
get some
the podcast side of that.
I can't wait. I'm pumped.
I'll have the written review. I'm on a binge that son of a gun. Come Thursday, Friday.
I hope there's a Green Lantern in it for you.
That's got to be. If there's no Green Lantern, it's the whole thing is a POS. It can just go F itself.
Well, it's got to have a stretchy guy to at least.
I got to have a stretchy guy, and let's if Ambush Bug. I just watched the episode. Me and Javi watched the episode of Brave and the Bold, and Ambush Bug was in it, Nightfall. So I'm all about
literally
Ambush
jump the shark,
Bug getting in there. All right, the Penguin had a big panel at Comic-Con as well, and basically they dropped a trailer. And Matt Reeves was there, and some of the other, I don't know the whole lineup. I know Colin Farrell was there virtually. Was he there live virtually, or was he there when he introduced the thing like we saw online? Introduced the trailer. That's probably was that it.
I don't know. I haven't seen any panel footage from this.
Okay,
either.
So
thanks, YouTube algorithm.
Anyway, the main thing was they dropped the trailer, then it was online right afterwards. It's the third trailer. Look, as far as that, I'm good. I've seen it. I'm ready.
I did not watch the third trailer. I didn't watch it. I refuse to.
Okay.
Dude, I'm ready to go. I want the show. I don't want anything new footage spoiled. Honestly, I'm just ready. I'm so pumped for this. I just want to see that show, man. I just want to watch it.
I don't think there was really anything more spoilery or
like it may make you a little bit more intrigued, honestly.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like plot. There's not any more plot revealed than there were in the other trailers. It's just a little more of like expansion of what the characters are that we're going to see.
I can wait for the show, man. I'm ready. I'm ready, dude.
The big news. I don't need a taste
test.
I would say is that it debuts on the 19th of September. 8 episodes, and Matt Reeves.
Did they say if it was weekly, Bill, or is it all at once?
I think it's weekly.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I don't just knowing like usually a lot of the Max stuff, and HBO and they're billing as an HBO thing. It's a series, weekly. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tasty. Oh yeah.
So 19th of September, we're going to be covering that as well. Now, other news, Matt Reeves says, and no shock to me whatsoever, it should be no shock to anybody who listens to this podcast because I've said it many times over the last couple of years. Colin Farrell will return for the Batman Part 2 as Oz Cobblepot, a.k.a. the Penguin.
So we know he doesn't die.
Yes. Well, they gonna kill that penguin. So he didn't have black goo coming out of his mouth and falling.
Well,
into
he might. We don't know. Have we ever
pool.
seen this penguin
All
bleed?
right.
He might bleed black glue.
I've said, and y'all can confirm that I'm not BSing, that I've always said I believe that the penguin, the Joker character, Selena, Nashton will be throughout this saga. There will be core characters of it. Yeah. And Colin Farrell's penguin, even though he said, well, I only worked like 8 days, and he felt like he's in the whole thing, even though he's because he's in it. You see him throughout the film. Yes, absolutely. So there you have that. And other than that, Matt Reeves said that they'll start filming next year. So that was it for,
here we go.
all that. What do you? Well, I mean, you can comment.
I'm excited.
Thoughts?
Look,
I mean,
the Penguin's coming. I'm glad Farrell's gonna be back for the Penguin. I mean, that's great. I mean, they gave him his own show. I didn't expect him to actually bite the bullet here. I expect him to be a big part of this going forward. I'm just pumped, man. Let's bring it on. I can't wait for this show. Cape Crusader is another thing I'm excited for. We've kind of been in a dry spot with Batman for a while to get both of these kind of simultaneously. That's awesome. I can't wait. I'm like you guys. I'm ready to watch this on a weekly basis and just kind of dedicate this in Sunday gravy.
Javi, anything like did any of this news other than the date? We knew it was September, but anything go wow, or or you go, yeah. I mean, come on. If you figure,
it feels like the news feels like old news in a sense, and
that's because you've been paying attention.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because like you and I have talked about on Batman Animation, it's like we're getting Cape Crusader in a week, and then the following month Penguin, and then we're gonna watch Penguin at home and then go see Joker 2 in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time like all that's done, like the Batman Part 2 is going to start filming, and we're going to start seeing set photos, and it's a good time, man. I'm here for all of it. I'm way more excited about what DC is doing than their Marvel counterparts.
I am
100%.
I wish that DC was doing the Batman saga / Joker 2 model where I don't want the elsewhere. Just, I got a strong filmmaker, do it, go.
Yeah.
Not the interconnected, all that stuff. It's what they're doing with the Batman saga is way more interesting to me than the DCU stuff. But that's again,
for me, it's honestly, and I believe, didn't you post something along the lines where Tim said everyone's doing an interconnected large universe? I kind of don't want to.
There was that quote,
that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, everyone's doing this. Everyone's doing this from the MCU to Kong vs. Godzilla. Like, I am so fed, and that's another Warner Brothers property. So they're doing this with all their properties. I'm fed up with large team ups and the multiverse. Like, can we just move on to something different, smaller scale? I don't need the world to be certain heroes don't need to save the world. They don't need to save the universe.
Yeah.
All
right. So there you have that. Lots of Batman stuff coming. Joker 2 will be here before you know it.
There was a reference in the trailer, the Penguin trailer, since Pete hasn't watched it, but that made me want to reread Dark Victory.
Nice.
So it's good. It's out there.
Yeah, I mean they referred to Sophia going to Arkham because she was the Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
So given that this, like, what does that mean in the context of the Batman saga? Because like the Hangman was like Dark Victory was after Long Halloween. And so that it's like, okay, so are we going to see Harvey Dent now? Like, how does this all tie into? Was there a holiday before? What's this Alberto going to be like?
Yeah.
So but just to see, like,
that could just be her mafia name, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Long Halloween
gets
a lot of love. And it's nice to see that Dark Victory's getting some recognition too. I know Lauer's, giddy over any Long Halloween reference, and rightfully so, but it's cool to see Dark Victory get a little bit of sunshine, and it's cool that we're getting more of just the Falcones, because he's been name dropped before, and and Begins and that other show that we're not going to talk about. So it's nice to see some of the other family and what we're going to get, going forward. And because this Sophia doesn't look like the comic one.
Before we move on, I do want to mention about this, that one of the things that Reeves said was that there's part of the one, I don't know if it's a certain episode or something was written for the Batman Part 2. They're actually using in the Penguin.
Oh,
instead.
Great.
So that I would love to know what it is. I don't know if we'll find out. Maybe we will once the Batman, Batman Part 2 comes out. And
it's like this Reeves stuff, man. It is so focused. It is focused on one thing and one thing alone, telling a Batman story. Yeah. It's almost refreshing at this point, dealing with what every studio is trying to force feed us with now. It's just a breath of fresh air. They're just focused on one thing, and that's the one character. That's Batman.
And well, this is like the connectivity that I want.
Yeah.
Like I like how we've got, because these movies take so long to make. It's nice that we have these other side things that are going to funnel into the main thing, be it Riddler Year One or the Penguin TV show.
This is what Marvel tried to do with their streaming stuff and didn't work out. And it's kind of because they tried to think to do it with so many different characters, She-Hulk, Falcon, all this stuff. Whereas this is literally like, okay, we're just this one sector. Again, it's focused. I think that's really important, and we've also heard numerous rumors about the MCU and their writers. They're just running them dry, and there's just not enough, and they're too overworked and all that jazz and whatever. But it's like, like these guys are just, here we go. We got Batman. This is it. Let's do Batman stuff. You're not trying to, okay, well, Batman, how do we connect Batman to Green Arrow? And how do we connect Batman to Flash? And how do we connect Batman to, the Terrifics and all that? Like at some point, I just think you just burn yourself out trying to force it to work.
Okay, we're going back, and then it's, okay, then exactly. Why do you have to have Green Lantern and frickin' Superman film with Hawk Girl and Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho and who in the hell else is in there? It's,
like I don't know, like you could have
some. Well, why? Because
characters with
this is a shared universe. That's why
Eradicator with Steel. Like
I am not I am not going down that rabbit hole again. All right, real quick to finish up. Absolute Batman comic books.
Oh God.
Hope you got $200.
We got a little detail about it. So Batman is not super rich. He's an engineer. Am I right?
Yeah, I just found some stuff about Absolute Batman that they revealed in some screenshots. He's a city engineer. Okay, so classic Batman is 6'2", 210 pounds. This Absolute version is 6'6" and 250 pounds. In his young 20s, he has a French bulldog named Frenchie.
Yeah.
Alfred is former MI6. He looks like the Earth One Alfred. I guess his nickname is Penny. And Black Mask is going to be like one of the main villains here.
I think guys named Snyder should not work on Batman.
I mean, I'm actually interested.
I am not interested in this at all. No way. This, to me, I was like, they're sticking a guy in a suit again. We just did this with Robo Gordon. I'm like, no, you're another guy who's out of ideas.
Well, I mean, Batman's always in a suit. What are you talking about?
But you know what I mean? He looks this big bulk. I don't know, dude. It just feels like
it doesn't look like it's like an Iron Man suit or anything.
No, it doesn't. But I don't know. He just looks so big and weird. It looks bigger than the dude.
It's like why Bruce is so bulky.
Yeah, he looks so bulky as Batman. He looks so thin as Bruce from what I saw. I don't know. It just
reminds me. He's massive as Bruce.
Yeah, is it that I looked at the wrong picture? Now. I'm like, I don't know. This does not seem like.
I mean, I saw something. They even have him lifting weights. He's but you like there's been was it Ultimate line with Ultimate Spider-Man? I mean,
I do not like Ultimate Spider-Man. No, I don't like it. They killed.
I thought you liked that. You were telling me that. Who was telling me?
The new Ultimate. Yeah, this new one, not the original run. Yeah, there's Volume 1. I do not like. Volume 2 is actually interesting.
Isn't he like Peter Parker got his powers a different way, and he's
but he's still broke, and it's Uncle Ben's around, Aunt May isn't. It's kind of like
what's the difference?
I'm not interested. How's that? I don't think it sounds.
I got
good.
you, but I mean,
that's.
But if someone told you, if someone described this, that's Ultimate Spider-Man, would you say? I'm asking. This is just a question because I don't read it.
Well, it's also like you throw in the writer who's Hickman, who I'm a big fan of. The last time Snyder touched Batman, I think it was really sour. Again, this seems like a really weird idea because Batman, again, I think it was Tamaki who she made Batman broke and moved him into Gotham style Brooklyn brownstone.
Yeah.
So they've already done this before. They've taken all his money and they're going to take his money in the Affleck script. They took all his money in Rises. I'm fed up with you making Batman broke. Can Batman just be Batman? How's that?
Is he broke? I mean, he's an engineer, so he's got to make some.
He's broke. Money, but he makes as much money as me. He's broke.
I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to look, as much as I did not like some of the stuff Snyder did toward the end, like Super Heavy.
Oh,
and who was that
Last
plant,
Night on Earth.
That plant
Mr.
man.
Bloom.
Yeah. Some of that.
Is he still a zombie, Peter? Because he was in Task. He got
killed.
He was
in Task Force Z. I don't know what he's done since then.
I don't remember either.
Surprisingly, not in Creature Commandos, and that's a whole nother tangent I can go on, but I'm not. Again, I've lost my train of thought because of Pete Verra.
Let me jump in. Like it's not the mainline Batman. Like Bruce Wayne is still whatever Bruce Wayne is going to be in the prime DC universe.
I got it now. Yeah.
And you know, for people who don't like Zdarsky, I'm sorry, he's still on the book, but we're getting fresh blood on Detective with Tom Taylor, who's done a lot of good stuff in my opinion.
That should make you happy, Pete.
He reinvigorated
2 issues
Nightwing.
away. 2 issues away.
He's coming off a hot run on Nightwing. And Philip Kennedy Johnson, who did a fantastic run on Action Comics,
and the Hulk
is moving, and the Hulk and so many other things. He's moving to Batman and Robin, which I'm thrilled about.
Yeah,
because I'm kind of done with what Williamson's been doing.
I will say
Johnson is big on like DC legacy. I think it's gonna be good.
Main Batman comics. I think we're in for some good stuff. Not just Black Label, but like the main.
No, I'm with
books.
you. I'm with you.
I hope they keep up with the Black Label, even though now they have this absolute line. And I will say, I remembered now, as much as I didn't like, Mr. Bloom and Super Heavy, and that I'm gonna carry Joker's head in a jar around the desert.
All that didn't count. That was Black Label.
I know, it was still crazy. And then metal, wasn't a fan of any of the metal stuff.
Death metal is horrible. Oh yeah.
But he still came up with some really good Batman stories, including Court of Owls, which is he created a modern classic Batman villain, even though it's a group, Yeah. So
I think I like Snyder. I mean, I'm reading his Nocterra stuff, which I think is actually brilliant.
Yeah.
But his Batman stuff has been really sour. And I was wrong on him. He's actually a pretty big dude, Batman in this one. I don't know what promo picture I looked at earlier, but I don't know. It's something about this just doesn't sit right with me. Maybe it's because of the other characters. Now I saw the promo art for them, and Superman looks drastically different. Which I'm interested to see the reaction to that. Because I remember when people complained about JMS and his Earth 1 Superman. So this is gonna be interesting. And then Wonder Woman looks fairly interesting herself. I don't know. I'm not interested. I want classic Batman. I think that's where I am in my fandom. I just want classic, kind of evergreen Batman.
Evergreen? You want a Green Lantern and Batman?
No, like evergreen, like just Batman. Simplify like bring him back to his basics.
I got you. Okay, all right.
Do you have that Green Lantern Batman figure from McFarlane that came out a couple months ago?
Me?
Either of you
or Pete? I don't know. No.
From like what was it? 2 pages in a Green Lantern issue where he got the ring for just a hot minute.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
The last actually the last McFarlane's I bought the new Tim Drake, the Joker Punchline 2-pack, and the Alan Napier Alfred. Those are my McFarlane that I'm waiting on.
All right, boys. Let's get the hell out of here quickly with the plugs, and we shall move on and let announcer Rachel finish up. All right, Pete, go. You got that.
You
spelled
can follow me
down.
personally at Pete Illustrated. I have various shows at straight_O_G, Straight Outta Gotham, at Spidey Coalition, Titan Spider-Man Coalition. I appear monthly on Brian Lauer's Batman Book Club, and I'm all over Batman on Film.
Who's Brian Lauer?
The host of the Batman Book Club, Brian Lauer.
Oh, I thought you were about Brian Lowry. Remember that nonsense?
Oh, that might be his twin. That might be his cousin. I don't know.
Okay.
They're friends,
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good stuff there. Hobby, anything?
The JamesBondDossier.com. I've got reviews for the 007 comic. I need to catch up on those. Up to Speed with Wally West. I'm sorry, The Flash Up to Speed with Wally West on YouTube, where I've just break down Wally's run starting in the 80s issue by issue, and all over Batman-on-film.com with reviews for Batman and Robin, Catwoman, 50 Batman the Brave and the Bold. Lots of cool Batman comics coming up. And of course, you've got I've got YouTube video for the Batman Forever Sonar suit hot toy that I just got last month, and Batman animation. Where
did you do something on local dining?
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
No. No, I'm going to do, pizza reviews now for
there you go.
Yeah. But just Batman on Film. We got tons of Batman animations that came out. Bill and I just did the 50th episode of Batman animation, where we talked about The Brave and the Bold. The finale might fall.
Oh,
and that was a lot of fun. And I guess we're going to be talking about Cape Crusader coming up. So stay tuned.
Oh boy. Okay. Batman-on-film.com. And this will show y'all so I can get reaction. We'll be putting this up today.
CBS got you covered.
And also
that one's really cool. I like that one.
That's a good one.
Cape Crusader poster because it's not video, and I got the penguin poster.
You're gonna hang them in the living room next to the wedding picture.
I'm married too.
Quick tangent. Tangent before we get out of here. Lots of toys got revealed this weekend. Was there anything Batman related that caught your eye?
I didn't see anything, so I'm not sure.
For me, obviously, it's the Batman Forever Batmobile.
Yeah.
It looks very impressive. I will say the lights are green and not blue. That's an issue. That's
a McFarlane thing.
Yeah, that's a Kowalski issue.
Yeah, it comes with Michael Goth.
It does, but
okay, I did see that. Okay, I saw that.
That was in our.
The rims don't move like in the movie.
Yeah,
so the rims stay stationary and they light up, so it's different. The original Kenner car, the wheels move, the rims move with the wheels and their stickers. Where in this new McFarlane car, the wheels actually light up like in the film. So it's a debate whether I buy it or not.
Okay,
I'm still thinking about it. If he makes up a light up,
let me ask you this, and we will go. Okay, is there enough stuff coming hobby that Batman merchandise related that would be worth a podcast to discuss?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
There's some hot toy reveals. There's
oh god, yeah,
Joker McFarlane figures too from the Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay, let's work on that. Or will you? And we'll do that, because I would do it as want to listen to it just from a fan point of view myself personally. All right, Announcer Rachel will finish up here. We'll catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jet's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jet and everyone at BOF, I'm Announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.
Say goodbye, Graceland.